Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vakpranashchakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuriyam Mama Brahma Nirakarot अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मस्ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. What is the distance between the witnessing bird and the crazy bird? What is the distance? No distance. What is the distance between the drinking fellow and the non-drinking fellow? No distance. No distance at all. This we have to see. As though distance. The distance is in the form of ignorance of the unafflicted, unaffected one. The one who reveals is never revealed. The one who is the seer is never seen. The one who is the subject is never the object. So there is no distance. Number one, we have to see this. Whether we talk of the two-bird story or the two drinkers story or the story of the inner child and the adult, again, that's a third question we can pose. What is the distance between the inner child and the adult? No distance. But really speaking, a big distance. No distance from one standpoint because they are both sharing what? The same body, mind, sense complex. One is thinking, the other one is flying. That's the only difference. And so the distance is not there because there is the same receptacle, the same upadhi they are both sharing. Who are sharing the same upadhi? Ishvara and Jiva. What is the difference between Ishvara and Jiva? One small difference. Jiva complains. Ishvara does not. That's the only difference. And the complaint is due to what? Ajnanam. You see, certain things in Vedanta are a no-brainer. If you are asked in a class, what is the cause? You just close your eyes and say, Ajnanam. You will be always right. And any quotation in a sing-song voice, na 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 na, immediately say what? Bhagavad Gita. You will be right. And then which chapter? Say 15th chapter, okay? Likelihood of you being right is there. If you are wrong, it's on you, not on me. Don't quote me on it. So, the distance between Jiva and Ishvara, the distance between the inner child and the adult, as symbolized by the two drinkers or the two birds story, is really not in terms of time or space, but self-ignorance. Jiva has to be educated about Ishvara's nature because it is its own nature. Ishvara does not need to be educated about Jiva's nature. Why? Why? Because Ishvara is not at all concerned with the Jiva's nature. In fact, there is no Jiva separate from Ishvara. So the jiva wants to go on remaining a jiva, not because it likes the state of affairs of being glub, glub, glub under the weather, under the water all the time, but because it doesn't think it can get anything better than this. So it clings. It clings on to things because that is its hope of redemption. Its moksha, according to it, is to have a lot of things because I have a sense of lack. That's why there is bondage. Bondage is real, so therefore moksha is also real. So for the real bondage, what should I keep saying? Get rid of, get rid of, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of that. Or keep holding something which I don't think I have. And this is what the jivas, what should I say, the field of activity. Jiva's field of activity is this much alone. Pravritti, nivritti based accumulation and then getting rid of something, whatever it is, it thinks it is of no use, not because it is on a path to Vedanta, but because it thinks that if I get rid of this, I'll become better. If I get rid of a few wrinkles, I will be better. If I get rid of some extra weight, I will be better. This is what the jiva's thing is. Or if I accumulate something, I will be better. That's why the whole pursuit is pravritti, nivritti, pravritti, nivritti. We have seen all this in great detail. Now we have to see what's on the other side. What is the truth of this jiva? What is the truth of this jiva? Ishvara. Residing in the same buddhi are both Jiva and Ishvara. And even to talk like this, we have to kind of constrain ourselves to talk like this because there are no two entities. Seen from the standpoint of knowledge, there is only what? Ishvara, pretending to be Jiva. Just like Rama pretended to be a human being, and when Sita was abducted, he became the first tree hugger in history and hugged every tree and cried loudly, lamenting, "Have you seen my Sita? Have you seen my Sita?" Playing a role. And so therefore, so Jiveshwarayoho Bhedaha is what? Is because of my own agrahanam, first cause. Agrahanam means what? Ajnanam. And then anyatha grahanam, spin off cause. What is anyatha grahanam? Taking myself to be what I am not. This is what is called anyatha grahanam. So agrahanam and anyatha grahanam are the cause for sorrow and misery, and that is the spin off. Jiva is a bad spin off of Ishvara. Like sometimes some movie is successful and they have a spin off, not a sequel, but a spin off. Few characters, they were very successful and they were popular, so they fabricate a story just around those characters, and it's called a spin off. Never popular when it comes out, and nobody is interested in that. So too, this jiva is a spin-off due to anyatha grahanam. So, in order to make the way back, so to speak, the journey back to Ishvara is what is the bread and butter of Vedanta, is this so-called journey back to Ishvara. Remember, we have to have our hands permanently like this. As though. Or we should get some nylon threads and have two life-size apostrophes hanging here. Imagine that. So everything is as though. There is no journey. There is no person who is on the journey. There is no sadhaka. There is no sadhana. There is no sadhya. But for the sake of reenactment of this, since there is a sense of alienation, there should be what? A sense of coming back. So in that sense, a journey. So who is journeying to who? Ishvara is going towards Jiva? No. Jiva is going towards Ishvara. Why is Ishvara not going? Why is he, she so mean? Why can't Ishvara go? Because Ishvara doesn't see the alienation. Ishvara doesn't see that I am separate, doesn't see that there should be a journey. There is no journey. Only from the standpoint of this spin-off, this jiva, jaded and faded, this jiva says, I have to go back, I have to make a U-turn. I have to come back to this Ishvara. And that is when the thing starts. And so, how to come back to this Ishvara is a very important point. But before that, we have to understand what is it that I'm coming back to? What is it that I'm journeying towards? Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I don't want this journey. Maybe I don't want what is at the end of this journey. So, what is it that I'm coming back to has to be understood properly so that it becomes very clear. Both the journey, the destination, and what is the nature of this destination becomes very clear. Above all, the nature of the destination is the nature of myself. That should become clear. The Shastra presents Ishvara as non-separate from Atma. You have the same Satchidananda discussion in the Taittiriya Upanishad. And it starts off with a bang. The knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Brahmavida apnoti param tadesha bhyukta. Brahmavid gains the ultimate. Oh, Kim Tad Brahma? What is this Brahman then? I would like to have the ultimate. I would like to stop searching. I would like to have this ultimate. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. In other words, Sat Chit Ananda. We have seen this. The one who knows this. Where does one know this? Nihitam Guhayam. In the same cave where the two fellows were drinking. What is that cave? Buddhau. In the Buddhi. In the Buddhi that is lit up by what? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. In the Buddhi that is pervaded by Satyam Jnanam Anantam. In this Buddhi, I have to know Ishvara. And I have to know myself as Ishvara. And then what happens as a result of this is also given. Te samashnute. They enjoy. What do they enjoy? Sarvan kamaan brahmana saha. Brahmana saha means not along with Brahman. That means it's again there is duality. Me and Brahman sitting in front of a big feast and enjoying. Yes, this is wonderful. No. If there is two, there will always be finitude. See that. Please see that. One will be the cause of the destruction of the other, or both will self-destruct. Because they both had a beginning. Anything that has a beginning is subject to three forms of destruction. Swagata, by itself, and then by something else. Like that, there is three forms of by something else like it, by something else unlike it. And so, here, the destruction is not possible because there is not more than one, as though two. And so, Brahmana saha samashnute sarvan kaman means enjoys all desires at one fell swoop, simultaneously, which you can never do. Simultaneously enjoys all desires means is complete, is full, is contented, is no longer seeking this or that, because there is a sense of fulfillment centered on the self, which translates to the samsara upashamaha. Pratyastamita sarvanama rupaha. This abidance in a condition called for which the sun has set, so to speak, over all names and forms and the longing for those names and forms. That is what is fulfilling all desires at once means I'm no longer the desiring person. Otherwise, it's not possible to fulfill all desires, that too at once. How can you fulfill? How many desires are there? Desire number one, fulfilled. Desire number two, given up because it belongs to somebody else. Desire number three, unfulfilled and unfulfillable. 2-year old's balloon. Okay. Desire number four. Like this, how many can you fulfill? You have to knock off or by interrogation the desiring person. The mithyatvam of the desiring person has to be removed. Cognitively, of course. That the desiring person is not Satyam. There cannot be two Satyams. In each body, I am aware of and acquainted with a non-desiring person whenever I am happy and when I am asleep. Is there a desiring person or a non-desiring person? Non-desiring person. I am acquainted with that person. I love to be that person. And then the rest of the time, I am acquainted with the other one. The one that cannot stop crying, cannot stop complaining. Which one do I want to be? The first one. I want to be the first one. And in keeping with my desire, the Upanishad says you already are the first one. You are that one. What is the other one? A spin-off. A really mithya spin-off. And as though spin-off, it is not really there. It is there. It has a certain reality until it is interrogated, like the story of the celebrity on the runway. A celebrity modeling somebody's clothes or something, handbag, walking with a handbag down the thing. What is that? Everything is not that thing. Okay, avichara sundari. That's what we have to say. The beauty is in the bottle. Many bottles. Many jars of lotions and potions for every notion she has about her body or he has about his body is all taken care of by all these things. And then here there is somebody presented. This is what it is. And so, how to fulfill all desires at once? You can't. You can't. It's not a possibility. So, the desiring person is inquired into. Is this desiring person real or non-real? You cannot say it is not real. Why? Because I'm experiencing this fellow. I'm experiencing this desiring person. Whenever I look at an object of delight, whenever that object of delight belongs to somebody else, the desiring person comes out, and the desiring person is closely related. Siblings to the what? To the complaining person. Because whenever the desire is unmet, there are complaints, implosion, or explosion in the form of anger. The Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, tells us that anger is nothing but thwarted desire. Thwarted desire leads to anger, gives rise to anger. And so here is the spin-off. So Ishvara's nature, the nature of Ishvara is a non-wanting person, non-desiring person. And when I know my nature to be the same as Ishvara, what do I become? A non-desiring, non-wanting person, which I already am, but I discover that. That is the so-called journey from Jivatva to Ishvaratva. That is the so-called journey. There is no other real journey. Saha ashnute sarvan kaman brahmana saha vipaschita iti. And then that is the pratignya vakya, a thesis statement in the beginning, a statement of intent of what the Upanishad is going to unfold in the rest of the time. And then this is followed by a very strange set of statements. Up till now, what were we discussing? Brahman's definition, and what is Brahman, what will the knower of Brahman get, etc. And then after that, quietly, without any preamble, the Upanishad switches to the word Atma. Brahmana saha samashnute sarvan kaman. And then what? Tasmad va etasmad atmana akashas sambhutah. From this Atma, the Akasha was born. And then don't forget our air quotes, okay? In the air. Akashad vayuh vayoragnih agnerapah adbhyah prithivi prithivya oshadhayah. 5 elements are covered, plus a little bit bonus. From the earth came what? Oshadhi. Oshadhi means what? Plants. Oshadhibhyonnam. Food has come from plants. Either you eat the plants straight away, or you feed the plants to the animal and eat the animal. Food is from the plants. That's because we don't know. No other entity knows how to take the sunlight and transform it into food. We don't know how to do that. Only plants know how to do that. So already what we get with the plants, we get cooked food. We don't get raw food. Even if you say, I'm on a raw food diet, what are you eating? First cooking is by the plants. The plants cook for you and you eat that, and actually you cook that on the stove. Second cooking, and then you eat it, and then there is third cooking. Pachami annam chaturvidham. Ishvara says, what type of Ishvara? Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. Still lots of time for lunch, okay? Just because I'm chanting it. That's why I'm purposely not using the tune, because there is an association. Pavlov's dog and the bell. Okay, so here this chant and the jiva here. So this is the Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. Bhagavan says, I am in the form of the digestive fire, which is what? Bhagavan, Devata. And then I pachami. Pachami means what? I cook. The digesting is another form of cooking. So one is eating thrice cooked food. Really fascinating. So the Atma, now Brahman is converted to Atma because there is no Brahman without at the same time being I. There is only I. From this I has come the 5 elements. From these elements have come the plants, the trees, and everything. From the trees has come the food. From the food, what has come? Annat Purushaha. Annat Purushaha. The person, the being, the body, mind, sense complex of this being is a product of food. Oh, but the baby hasn't eaten food. Baby's mother and father have eaten the food. So, the food that is eaten by the parents is responsible for the reproductive material which gives rise to the baby. That's all it is. So, this food is the cause of this body. Very, very clear. And then we have a very beautiful manifestation of Bhagavan. Everywhere in the Ishavasya Upanishad, in Chandogya Upanishad, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, all this is very well unfolded. There is an expose. And what is that expose? That this Ishvara that I need to get to know has to be known from 2 standpoints, 2 definitions. The first definition we have already seen at length. What is that? Swarupa Lakshana. Satyam Jnanam Anantam or Sat Chit Ananda. The second definition is where the blocks are. Hidden blocks are there. Because the second definition is where there is a big distance between myself and Bhagavan, what I call Bhagavan. The very word Bhagavan shows what Bhagavan is. The pratyaya, the suffix called van, means what? The one who has. Wala, wali, yeah, in Hindi. So one who has money is called what? Manivan. Yes. The one who has balam, strength, is called what? Balavan. The one who has buddhi is called buddhiman, not one. Okay? Yes. Because if we said buddhivan, that means we don't have buddhi. That's why we are saying that. Then finally, the one who has bhaga is but what is this bhaga? This bhaga is sixfold qualities in full measure, limitless qualities, limitless attributes. Oh, but I thought Brahman has no attributes. Who said we are talking about Brahman? What are we talking about? Bhagavan, Ishvara. Ishvara has attributes. And those are the attributes that make me feel alienated and distant. And what are the attributes? The attributes are as follows. Samagram, Aishwaryam, overlordship of everything. Overlord of all, overlord. The whole Jagat is an expression of Ishvara, and Ishvara is the boss. Whatever Ishvara wants to do, Ishvara can do. And then you are the boss of what? Not even your own body, mind, sense complex. Oh, I have some strange feeling coming on. I don't know what to do. Surrounded by helplessness. You don't have Aishwarya. No, I want Aishwarya. Then if you want Aishwarya and you don't have Aishwarya, how do you know you want Aishwarya when you don't know what Aishwarya is? But you do know what Aishwarya is. Pujya Swamiji gives the beautiful example of an ant struggling in a small rain puddle. It knows how to swim, but it's exhausted. It doesn't know how to come out. That day you are in a grand mood. You walk by and you say, you know what? I can let you be. And you can get moksha eventually in this puddle. Or I see a dried leaf right here. What can I do? Hold it just on the tip of this puddle where your little feet are, and then have you clamber up to safety. I have Aishwaryam, total Aishwaryam. I don't know about total, but I have Aishwaryam with regard to ant. No, that is what I'm asking. Do I have total Aishwaryam with regard to the ant? I don't know, because if the same ant went into the ear at night, who has Aishwaryam? Huh? And it's trying to dig its way out, but it doesn't know which way out. So it's digging its way further into the eardrum. It is saying hello to the eardrum with its feet. Who has Aishwaryam now? Who is Aishwaryavan? Ant. This is what my Aishwaryam's limit is. Whereas Bhagavan, Samagram Aishwaryam. Then the next quality associated with Bhagavan is Samagra Shrihi. Shri means all resources belong to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the one who can never say, I don't have. Why? Because everything made by Bhagavan, sustained by Bhagavan, goes back to Bhagavan, non-separate from Bhagavan. Shri is also with Bhagavan. You just make the mistake of thinking Lakshmi belongs to you. She doesn't. Yeah. She's just there on a social visit. A cup of tea, that's all she's going to have with you. And she's a social butterfly. She likes to be in circulation. The more you allow Lakshmi to circulate, the more she will want to come to your house. When you tell Lakshmi, you belong to me, I'm going to lock you up in the safe, you know what happens? She starts to feel unsafe and she leaves. So, this is a little side tip how to deal with Shri. But for Bhagavan, Samagra Shrihi, every resource belongs to Bhagavan. And what about us? What about the Jiva? I don't have. I don't have. I wish I could lend you money. Why lend money? I wish I could just give you money. I wish I could wave a magic wand and give you everything. But I myself don't have. In every which way, lacking. We can't even think big. And so, second, bhaga. What is the third bhaga? Bhaga, samagram, jnanam. All knowledge. Knowledge of the particulars, knowledge of the general, knowledge of the first portion of the Veda, knowledge of Vedanta, and all bodies of knowledge, all branches of knowledge, from dinosaur onwards, everything Bhagavan has. What about your jnanam? Hmm? What to say? I am speechless. Yeah. My jnanam is limited to what? Recalling where I put my keys. Where did I see them last? Why? Because now they are lost. So this is my jnanam. The only thing I can say about the mind is never mind. That's the only thing I can say in certain about the mind. My jnanam, finite, limited, here today, gone right now. Ishvara's jnanam, infinite. In fact, it is spread, it is tatam, it is disseminated as the whole universe. The whole universe, anything you pick from it, we have seen this, is nothing but knowledge, Ishvara's knowledge. My knowledge is wrong knowledge. I am an idiot. That is my knowledge. Wrong knowledge, limited knowledge. How many is that? Three? Three. Yes. Samagram balam. All. What's the word for it? Strength. What about our strength? No amount of protein powder. No amount of whey. Whey is the in thing. Everybody is having whey. Whey, I don't know. But anyhow. So there is this health thing, trending. Everything has to just be strapping muscles. Washboard abs, it's called. Meaning it should be as hard as a board upon which the clothes are washed. On your own stomach, you can do laundry. Another word for it is six-pack abs. Like those 6 cans of Coca-Cola or whatever comes, it's like that, all rippling with muscles. 3 on this side, 3 on this side. That's about it. And this is what? An athlete's body. And athletes are who? They who get injured very quickly and very often. So one injury, 6 months they had to take off because something broke, something was torn, ligament or bone or everything was just a mess. 6 months they had to take off. Bye-bye, washboard. Bye-bye, six-pack. Again, you have to start, exercising, building up, building up, building up. There is no end. Samagram balam, number 4. Samagram yashas. Yashas. Yashas means what? Fame. If you don't believe me, you Google the word Bhagavan, see how many hits you will get. Yeah. Bhagavan is very famous. There's no one that does not know Bhagavan. Everywhere, all over the world, in their own way they pray, in their own way they conceptualize Bhagavan. Their own name they have. Bhagavan is very famous because has a lot of copyrights. Intellectual copyrights, other copyrights, creative common copyrights, everything is with Bhagavan. Read the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and you will discover. Because there Bhagavan says, let me take back my copyrights. And he goes on and on. If you can sing well, that's not you, that's me. If you can do this well, that's not you, that's me. So Samagram Yashas. And what is your fame? I trended on Twitter. Now it's called something else, X. I trended on X for a good half an hour. That is my claim to fame. That's all. I said something which somebody liked, and then it caused it to trend. Trend means so many million people saw it and said a few things. They happened to be free on that day, and they commented, and then it is trending, or it went, what's the other one? Viral. It went viral. That is my claim to fame. And then we say, oh, it went viral. Fantastic, OMG. And the next day, what? Something else went viral. And whatever made you go viral is forgotten. And then what do you say? I think I have a virus coming on. I don't feel so good anymore. This is what is viral. This is what is our claim to fame. Ishvara known everywhere all the time. How many is that? How many qualities? 5. Then the last one is Samarthyam. Samarthyam, capacity. Capacity to do what? Samagram, limitless capacity to bring forth this universe. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Laye. Samarthyam. So, Laya means what? In taking back this universe without a trace. Samarthyam, that capacity, that unimaginable capacity to sustain this universe, not easy. To bring forth this universe, hardly easy. You have to decide who is going to marry who, and after they two separate, who will those two people marry after that? You have to decide all these things. This is part of the blueprint of the universe. Think about how complex it is. We can't keep this straight even on paper. Bhagavan does it all in a headless place of knowledge. This is all, no need for paper. Paper is yet to be invented, but the blueprint of the Jagat is already there. Think about it. Each one's karma intersects certain other people's karma, and some people's karmas do not intersect at all. And in the intersecting karmas, we have to see when that karmic intersection should take place, when should this phala fructify, when should that happen. When should the dinosaurs go bye-bye? Imagine if they were here now, how inconvenient it would be. Yeah. We would live in tremendous fear. No one will study Vedanta except the dinosaurs. That's all. Yeah. Nobody will study because we'd just be trampled. These were huge, behemoth things. You see you go into a museum and they have recreated the bones, some of them, some bones are found. And that blessed egg looks like a boulder. Some eggs also have been found. And if they were here now, certainly coexistence would be challenging to say the least. That's why they left. That's why they were gone. With certain things cannot coexist with certain other things. And they are probably also feeling the relief because they are saying at least we were predictable. These people who are here, we could not get along with them at all. Most unpredictable. Yeah. They would try to kill us and eat us also because they don't stop at anything. They eat anything that moves. And so it's good we are extinct. Yeah. Dodo bird, that also was eaten out of existence. The national bird of Mauritius, dodo bird. Now they are trying to clone it. It will come back. They are almost there. dodo bird? Because it was flightless. It could just run and, fly a little bit and then run again. And these people said, there goes lunch. Catch, kill, eat, literally. And they ate so much of it that it went out of existence. So when should it go out of existence? When should it come? And then imagine, now we have what? AI, another Ishvara. If AI had come at some other time, perhaps we would not be understanding it, not be ready for it. Now we are ready for it. So all these things has to be part of the plan. And what is our plan? We will build something and then say, I think I'm trapped in this building. Uh-oh, I forgot to put a door to come out. This is our creation. Our creation, what do we know how to create? Confusion. That's all. We don't know how to create, much less take care of something. No, but we have children. I told you. If the child has to just go and ask the mother, what? Did you make my brains? What will the mother say? I wish I had, so you would stop asking these kinds of questions. That's all that the mother would say. Did you make my kidneys? Did you make my lungs? I don't know how to make lungs. I don't know how to make brains. Mother doesn't know, much less father. Mother is just, the womb is an incubator for Bhagavan. That's all it is. And so we don't know how to create. And also, among the things we do know how to create, we have starting trouble. Every writer, even the most famous writer, will put the pen down, put the computer down. I need a break. You haven't even started. Exactly why I need a break. Why? Writer's block. Yeah. Even before you start, writer's block. During the book, block. After the book, postpartum depression. Yeah. Oh, this book is gone. I don't know if it will become famous now. I have to write another one in order to be relevant. What will I write that on? This itself was so hard to write. Why will I write another one? This is the Jiva's creation. Ishvara, effortless. Satya Sankalpaha. Atma in the Chandogya Upanishad 8th chapter is called Satya Sankalpaha. Right in the beginning. Vijaraha, Vimrityuhu, Vishokaha, and then Nityaha, etc. Satya Sankalpaha. Satya Sankalpaha means what? Anything that it thinks of happens effortlessly. We put a lot of effort and what happens? Nothing happens. Only one headache happens. That's all. And so this is the creative faculty. Even among the things that we create, our creation is imperfect and our creation is finite. How much can you create? Stop, start creation. Then comes the next faculty in Samarthyam. What is that? Taking care of that, sustaining. We don't know how to sustain. We create, all right, Frankenstein. We don't know how to sustain. Much less we know how to take back. Even if we knew how to take something back, all these three faculties cannot rest in a single entity. If we are talking of a jiva. Some people are very good at startups. That's all they can do. They start and then they up and go. That's why it's called startup. They can start, all right, hand you the keys and then they go. Some people, even if you paid them, they cannot start anything. They say, you please start and then you give it to me, I'll take care of it. And then some are Rudras. They are directly blessed by Rudra. They walk into a job and then the whole company collapses. Yeah. Bankrupt it goes. The very next day they have that kind of a blessing, directly blessed by Rudra. Oh, poor things, where should they work? They should go into the wrecking business. They will do very well. Yeah. Wrecking the building and taking care of what? Hauling away the scrap metal. All this they can do. You ask them to build something, no thank you. You ask them to take care of something, they will shut it down. This is how we are. But you can't even fathom all these faculties resting, limitless measure, resting in one conscious being called Ishvara. This is the so-called distance. Because what am I? I'm not the cause, I'm because. I can't be the cause. How can I be the cause? Look at the cause. 6 bhagas. What do I have? 0 bhagas. Nothing I have. And then what else? Then I can't be the cause. I'm not the cause. What am I? I'm an effect. I am because. Then Bhagavan is all. What am I? Alpaha. Small. You have to extend it. Small. Bhagavan is God. What am I? Odd. Take out the G. Odd. At best, odd. How can there be an equation? Jiveshwara yoho aikyam. The equation with the first definition of Bhagavan I can fathom, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, but that unfortunately is not the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya is the unfolding of the oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. That is the Mahavakya. Nothing else is the Mahavakya. So you cannot say Jiva is Brahman because that's only part of the teaching. That's not the whole of the teaching. That is as much as you can get from Tvam Pada analysis, from the analysis of the word Tvam. But not Tat Tvam Asi. That you cannot get. So to understand this Ishvara becomes my prime occupation as a Vedantin. You cannot say I believe in you because it's an equation. It's exactly an equation. And the equation means what? It's a mathematical equation. 20 minus 11 is equal to what? 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 are in brackets. 20 minus 11 is in brackets. And in between, what do you have? An equal to sign. The 4th standard child, 4th grader looks at it and says, what? 3rd grader, 4th grader, 8, 9-year-old. What? This side double digits? Minus sign? That side single digits plus sign. And then in the middle, what is there? Equal. Not even like. Equal. Identical to. And the 8-year-old says, Namaste astu. Yes. Gurave namaha. Namaste to the teacher. You know a lot. I believe you. Will the teacher let this child get away with this? No, because this is not a matter for belief. There are certain things in the Veda which are non-verifiable beliefs. That this body survives death, non-verifiable belief. That that which survives death is in a subtle form, non-verifiable belief. That one travels, that the subtle body travels to various lokas, non-verifiable beliefs. That the lokas are very pleasurable, non-verifiable beliefs, or the lokas are very painful, non-verifiable belief. That having enjoyed the lokas, I will come back here, non-verifiable belief. Except in India. In India, there are many instances of people remembering their past lives. Not after going to a psychic, okay? Psychic is what? From the standpoint of Vedanta, psychic is a sidekick, okay? Yeah. But really they remember. And somebody asked the question, if reincarnation is there everywhere, then why only Indian children are remembering? Why not Swedish children? Why not Swiss children? Why not English children? Why not South American children? Why only children in India are remembering? Because here they find an openness to discussing these things. There is an openness. Because everybody else is there and there is an openness. They subscribe to that same thing. And these kinds of stories come in the paper. The 4-year-old asks his mother for pakodas. What is pakoda? What you had yesterday for lunch, if you can remember. If not, don't worry about it. Some kind of a fried savory snack. 4-year-old said, Mom, I want pakodas. Mother was delighted. Oh my God, he's asking, so nice. Of course I'll make you pakodas. Who else will I make pakodas for? She goes to the kitchen and the child says, your pakodas are terrible. I want my wife's pakodas. And what? She went along. She thought he was playing a game. But he was very insistent. They were from a small village somewhere in Rajasthan. He said, we have to go. My wife is there. And they said they were also curious. So the parents took the child and then, in a car to this next place. They hired a car, went to the next village. And as they approached the village, the car had to stop. There was a little bit of traffic. The child opened the door, ran, knew exactly where he was going. He went to one house, hugged a 70-year-old lady and introduced her as my wife. Not just wife, my wife. My wife she is. And since they had come all the way to have pakodas were made and had, but in the meantime, the child went to each and every room of the house and knew all the intimate secrets, where the money is kept, where do they wash clothes, where do they do this, where do they hang their, like the, what is that, like papads and everything they make, where do they hang it on the, to dry. Knew everything. Then the families, after having enjoyed the pakodas, decided never to do this ever again. Because this life is there, the child has to be properly adjusted in this life. And so these are all beliefs. Whether you believe it or not, it's a belief. If I say I believe in reincarnation, it is still what? A belief. Supposing tomorrow I say, I do not believe in reincarnation, what is that? It's still a belief, it doesn't become a reality. Either way, it's a belief. The first portion of the Veda requires your Shraddha based on belief. The second portion of the Veda requires your Shraddha as a trust pending understanding. Requires a Shraddha based understanding. This is not a belief. So we have to do the math. 4 plus 5 and 20 minus 11. And you have to do that. And there is a way of doing it. First you have to solve whatever is there in the parenthesis. And the next thing is multiplication. All these, there is a formula how to do this. Otherwise you'll get the wrong answer. So then you derive and then you see that the equal sign is justified and you arrive at the answer. Here too, Jiva is equal to Ishvara. Or rather, the equation we should put it this way. Satchidananda plus complaints. Or shall we multiply it by complaints? Let's multiply. Satchidananda multiplied by all kinds of woes and complaints in parenthesis is equal to Ishvara, Satchidananda multiplied by glories. Equal sign in between. This is what we have to resolve. How? Through another prakriya. One prakriya we have seen at length. What is that? Karya Karana Prakriya. Effect cause Prakriya methodology, where the effect is shown to be non-separate from the cause, while the cause transcends effect in the sense that the causality is an as though attribute here, and the effect is non-separate from the cause. Now we will see another Prakriya. What is the name of this prakriya? This prakriya, Adhyaropa Apavada Prakriya, we can call it that, or we can talk about the prakriya as Na iti Prakriya. Or we can even call it Bhagatyaga Lakshana Prakriya. Lot of big words, yeah. The the second one we understand. Na iti, meaning whatever doesn't belong, we have to take out of the equation, and then the equal sign is justified. Because in each parenthesis, there are a lot of things that are mithya and lot of things that don't belong. We'll go into detail of all that. Then, otherwise, what? Otherwise, it will be a nice example we will can be given to assimilate this is the potato harvest. You harvest the potatoes, and the potatoes you pick out, and because you can't really dig too deep, you can't dig into the potato and destroy the potatoes, so you dig around so that you don't hurt the potatoes. As a result, the potatoes come with ample clods of earth. Non-potato. The potato is mixed up with what? Non-potato. And so what do you have to do? You take that clump of the potato leaves and bush, and you beat it, you beat it, you beat it, you beat out the non-potato, beat out the non-potato, beat out the non-potato, retain what? Potato. From the jiva's side, you yank the fellow out and beat out all the complaints. Take that and that and that for each complaint. Beat out the smallness, beat out the misunderstanding, beat out the notions of wrong notions, beat out the Atma Ajnanam. And what is left? Don't say potato, please. What is left? Satyam Jnanam Anantam or Satchidananda. This side also, Ishvara's side also, you have to do the same thing. Oh, that's also potato? Yes. Ishvara potato, big potato. This is small potato. Sometimes, they have these, what are they called? Contests. And then there's this mammoth potato you see in the photo. Yeah. That also has been harvested along with a lot of dirt, and you beat that fellow also. What do you beat out? The 6 bhagas you beat out, because they are also what? As though they are attributes, as though attributes. Mithya attributes. That's why Ishwaratvam, the status of being Ishvara, is Mithya. Mithya attributes you beat out. All the dirt you beat out, beat out, beat out. What is left? Everybody knows? Everybody can go home? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha